things organized here. I guess that looks all right. Where was I? Where are all my pieces? Everything should just be right there. Oh, it is. Everything is here. I'm just... If only I had a brain. If only I had a brain. Boy, that was one whole page for putting that one piece on. Well, yesterday the stream just stopped on me, and I just didn't feel like getting the stream back. I don't know what it did. It just seems to do that every once in a while to me. Is what it is, I guess. So weird little things on this, I guess, thing has lots of weird little stuff in his apartment. Yeah, I guess if he's been going around for a long time, he would have lots of different stuff in his spot. Of course, that means in the TV show that he doesn't have his apartment with him. Feel kind of bad for him. Of course, Wednesday isn't very receptive to his feelings and needs. Okay, flip this over. No, flip this over. And then put this thing on. And then turn this into a mirror. Oh, come on. And that is what it is. There we go. And this goes right here in the corner. He has a mirror and a hot tub, or I guess a finger tub. Yeah, I can understand the finger tub, but why the mirror? I mean, we know you can see somehow. He does talk. They do talk about his vanity. We know Thing is very, very vain. He has to have all of his um, manicure stuff. Not sure. Just always. How does he see and hear? And I guess if they ever explain the magic that made him whatever he is, that would get explained. Then I'd be kind of surprised if they ever, any Adams show ever explained how Thing was made. Daddy is the greatest. You'll never know. Come on to the diamond. Just kind of forced myself to do the stream today. Kind of forced myself to do anything today. Everyone has days like that. I did spend a fair amount of time at the gym today. Yeah, that's always good. And do some good exercise and always feels good during it. Those endorphins just don't last too long, nor do any endorphins really. It's just the nature of everything, I guess. It is what it is. Uh, all these parts that I can't um, stick together somehow. Wish I could organize them better, but I can't think of a better way to do it. So they just kind of sit together. I wish I could stick them together like everything else. All right. Okay, I'm still on this part. 3 and this go in this corner. Yeah, black. The black half crescents. Okay, black half crescents. There we go. And this. Now, and little one bys. Um, put that back together. Now this. There we go. Okay, so put this part aside. And now this. And this. And the black ones. Damn. Oy vey. Wish I was in a better mood today. Usually I have no problem just kind of talking to myself. Just, hoping people get on here and that I'm not just a static view of someone building something. But, just all this BS with the shutdown is affecting me more and more by the day. And today I don't have the energy. But, get on here and at least made myself go to the gym, get on here and do this. At least helps keep some kind of um schedule. At least that way. that is an important thing when you're depressed, just to keep a schedule. This isn't. Did I do something wrong? Am I trying to put something together where it's not supposed to be together? Okay, somehow I just jumped right over. I think I jumped right over instruction. Don't know how I did that. I don't know what this thing is. And the only thing knows. Looks like that goes in the center. And then this. And this. And this. And this. And gray. Yeah, I think it's a gray little thing. Yeah. Okay, I think this is how these go. Oh, for the love of Pete. All right, now this little column thing. Mm, almost start cussing there. Almost. Stopped myself at the last second. Okay, it looks like it's supposed to. It looks like these are supposed to go and click at the top and the bottom, but they're not lining up perfectly. So did I do something wrong? Okay, I'm going to go back to this one. Hi, how are you doing? I am trying to figure out I did something wrong right here because these things do not seem to line up like the picture says it does. One of those days. Uh, ooh, ouch. Dark Finks. Yeah, I remember the name. I think it's been a minute since you've been on here. Yeah, this is not lining up like it should. Man, it's really a pain when one of these things falls and you got to rebuild it. And my little some yeah, I got some Halloween candy. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to be around the house when kids are coming by, but I might just leave a dish out there and let them go feral. Yeah, I got some full size stuff and some of the snack size stuff so the kids can just fight it out. Yeah, I think that's what I did wrong. Yeah, if they beat each other up, they can at least do it off my property. Okay, that looks better. I'm not really sure what this thing is going to be. Y'all do the full size or the snack size for the kids. Yeah, I'm not sure what this thing is. Yeah, kind of hard to see. Oh, I haven't turned my lights on again. I always forget to turn these lights on. Uh, turn my lights on. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, yeah, Halloween's a very American holiday, quote, holiday. So I'm going to be going up to my ex's house and take my little one to Halloween to trick or treat up there with her friends and then bring her down here for the weekend. Hey, Bricks. Yeah, he does a good stream. Oh, this is his door. That's what this is. So this is the outside of the door to his apartment. And then this is, I guess, how he opens it. No, so I'm going up to where my ex lives. So, because little one stays with her a lot, or it's a half and half thing. And then she's going to trick or treat with the kids in that neighborhood. And then she's going to bring little one down here. Then I'm going to bring little one down here. I mean, yeah. So yeah, this is the door to his house. to Thing's house. That makes more sense now. Where is the other um, pillar? Yeah, I like how he has his camera um, on the that side view because it's a little easier to see. I was thinking about changing that, but I can't really the way that my table is here. I don't think I can really set it up that way to give a better view of the work area. So this is pretty neat. I like how this closes there. All right, Star Wars. Thanks for stopping in for a minute. Where what is okay, this. Yeah, he definitely seems to have a handful of people that come do his stream every week. That's pretty cool. Probably at some point I should figure out how to um assign moderators, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be an issue with so few people here. Probably if it ever becomes a an issue, start getting like spam bots or something in here. Oh wait, this goes around this way. All right. I think I got some coffee or something right there. That's annoying. I think what would be really neat at some point is to get like the um big it's like fake grass or something for this for the tables. Think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, I've seen some really complex um cities, like the ones that have the planes that take off and have turf down. That's some really cool stuff. Hi, how are you? It's kind of funny whenever I have someone doing some work over here and they walk down here and they always um just just over where the camera ends past that door is where my stairs are, and as soon as they anyone comes down those stairs, they stop and look at this table. It's always a funny thing to see how they react. Oh, they even do those blind bags. Blind bag things are kind of neat. And the same point, I'm like, oh, unfortunately, we hit the you hit the um point where you start getting the same stuff and you're just looking for that one thing and that I don't mind getting the same thing once, but when you start getting it again and again, that's when I start getting annoyed. Yeah, they always need that minute to to stare at the insane amount of Legos right here. It's always funny. And that's your hobby. Some people have said my house looks like a GameStop. Yeah, I love anything that's Ecto One and Ghostbusters. There's a guy here local on Etsy that builds a proton pack. Yeah, it could be kind of panicking, hoping that nothing gets broken. Um, this friend of my mom's in her church, they they have a whole Lego city in their garage, not a garage, but like a green room. A green room. What is the proper word? Greenhouse. It's like a greenhouse. And I mean they have this huge setup that makes my setup look small. And so I wish I could get more Ghostbuster stuff. But they we had gone over there last Christmas because little one wanted to see all their Legos, and it was just amazing. They had so many of the giveaway things, when you buy a certain number. Yeah, it can be difficult to rein in children. Yeah, little one, the guy was working on the Home Alone at that point, and little one was having so much fun with it because it has the thing where the kid was going down the stairs and you could do that, and little one just kept doing it over and over, putting the figure on top of the stairs. Oh, this is kind of cute. So yeah, there we go. You can see thing is holding someone's hand, or someone is holding thing. I'm guessing that's Fester because it's a bald person. I'd like to get the that Home Alone one eventually. Well, the one keeps asking me to get it just because she wants to um, put put him on the stairs so we can go flying out the stairs, flying out the front door. Purple, purple. I guess it's this one. Yeah, I'm guessing that's fester. That's all that makes sense. I think I did this upside down or downside up. Yeah. I started saying downside up instead of upside down to little one, and at first she's like, "Daddy, that's not the way you say it." I'm like, "Well, why not?" Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea. There we go. Oh, there it's like put little drinks or something on a table. Not a table, but I can't think of that word right now. My brain is not working today. I mean, it barely works most days. Today, it just doesn't want to work at all. There we go. I did a pretty good workout and dresser. That might be now. What go mantle. That's the word I'm looking for. Dresser got me close. Yeah, that's cute. I like that. At first, she thought me saying downside up was stupid. Now she's starting to say it. Like, why can't we say something different than most that means the same thing? Is what I told her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense." Might as well be silly when you can. And the little shoe looking thing, there it is. If it doesn't go flying off somewhere. Yeah, it's just the opposite. Downside is up instead of upside to down. I think I got that from an old video game back on the Atari, not the Atari, the Apple. It was the Apple IIe. It was one of those text-based games, and they also said Flutterby instead of butterfly. And there was a couple other little things that they said that I just found hilarious. Of course, I couldn't do the text-based games myself. Um, my mom would sit there with me, and then sometimes she would type, or sometimes she would tell me what to type. To help learning spelling and stuff like that. To help learn spelling. Those text-based games, man, those things were hard. Most of them were damn near impossible. I always wish I could remember what the name of that game was, but she got rid of the Apple. Yeah, though, I mean, when the Apple II came out over here forever ago, text-based games got fairly popular, and there were a bunch of them. And then eventually they had very rudimentary graphics. A bunch of them had um, just little pictures in them that may show what someone looked like or may show a area. And it was a lot of stuff of you see this, you can go north, south, east, or west, and you have to put in which direction you want to go and then pick up this, use this on this. They were brutal games. Because if you didn't like pick up the one thing way back at the beginning of the game, there's no way you could win. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy did one of them, and I've actually seen a walkthrough or two on YouTube. And that game is just commonly known as like the most brutally hard game of its type ever. Come on. This is looking pretty cool. Too bad the door doesn't actually open. Yeah, that Hitchhiker's Guide one, like at the very beginning, or in the books, they do this thing where this alien race is coming across the entire universe and they're going to destroy the Earth. But then when they get to Earth, they're so tiny they get eaten by a dog. And if you don't do something with those aliens at the very beginning, you can't win the game at the very end. And it's something that's not very logical, but I don't think Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is known to be logical in any incarnation of the story. Oh, yeah, but Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy did it on purpose to be frustrating. Whereas a lot of those games is the first time video games were made. No one had any clue how to make them and what's hard and what's not. But man, you learned a lot from those games. A lot of creative thinking and um, frustration and not throwing your computer out the window because it won't take the input you're trying to do. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was about to leave and he had said something about, "Hey, I'm here every weekend or every Wednesday." And that made me think of the old Batman TV show Sign Off, the old Adam West. Same bat time, same bat channel. That's a um that old Batman TV show was just pure camp. West. I think he's still alive. Seen that time. Think that goes here. Yeah. Man, thing has a nice room. I mean, he has a place for it, like a hot tub for his cuticles, a mirror. I guess this is like a powder case. Oh yeah, he seemed like he was a little sick. Yeah, if you want a just weird show, that old Batman TV show is something. See, but Eartha Kitt, Catwoman, she was something else. Oh, the girl that did Batgirl, she was really good. I can't think of her name right now. But Eartha Kitt was just man, she was Catwoman and she just was always the best. And her and Emperor's New Groove is just hilarious. Oh, it's a crystal ball. Oh, that's great. So he can talk to people when he's in the little tub. Okay. So now turn this over, hopefully without breaking it. Um, Not really sure what it's showing me there. Oh, okay. Think I see now. Maybe. Did I miss something? It's always possible. No. It says flip this over, but then the blue, I may not be smart enough to figure this out. The directions are not very clear, to say the least. This side ends up on the bottom, and yeah, it is this. Sometimes I just really wish they had written directions, or at least something like IKEA where there's, um, the little stick figures doing stuff. Because I am not sure what it's telling me to do. Oh, there we go. That was not logical. And then there's say, oh my world. So it kind of opens. Wow, that was weird. That was weird to figure out. And I guess it's supposed to just kind of like sit up here somehow. That's kind of weird. So you put it away like this, and then it opens up like this, I'm guessing. Okay. I don't really understand why, but it is a thing. Okay. That was odd. Um, ah, and I'm going to destroy his home. I'm sorry, thing. I'm going to destroy your home before I even finish building it. Okay. This is weird. This is weird and confusing. What is that vendor says? It's something like I'm confused and that makes me angry or something like that. So where does this go? Where does this go? It doesn't seem to connect really anything. It just seems to sit. I don't understand. Ah, something I had missed yesterday, it looks like. I'm not really sure why these little parts are right there. So these things are usually used to open stuff, but it doesn't seem like there's anything to open right there. But I will just accept it and just try to follow the directions best I can. Or I put them in the wrong spot because I had the thing upside down. Yeah, that's a lot more likely as I was not following the directions correctly. That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I wasn't following the directions correctly. There we go. So now it opens like it's supposed to. And things little nail polish. There he is. I was wondering where he went. He can sit on my computer for right now. All right. Oh, yeah. If I could follow the directions how they're written, things would be a lot better. Be a lot easier. All right. What do we got here? It was kind of funny at the gym today. So many of the people there were actually in costumes in the gym. Not somewhere you'll expect to see people in costumes is exercising. A lot of them that were in costumes were the gray hair crowd. Um, it's around noon. They have a like jazzercise thing that's mostly the older folks. It is just so funny to see. A couple of the YMCA employees, of course, were doing costumes. And this morning I had gone up to my grandfather um, at the little assisted living place to make sure because he had a dental appointment. And the hygienist with the dentist had costume on. It was nice to see a bunch of the people workers there, the nurses and the techs were doing little costumes, and they had been putting out decorations all month because I'd go up there, not infrequently, but not a lot. And usually, whenever my mom can't make it for whatever reason, I go up there. I was like, that's kind of nice. I'm glad that the nurses and the techs get into um, doing little costumes and stuff. Not only it helps their morale, but it helps the morale of the residents. It's like my grandfather says, it's really boring there, and I can definitely understand why he's bored there. And that's uh, I was glad to see all those people getting into the spirit of this non-holiday holiday. But the gray hairs doing the jazzercise in costume, that was just one of the funniest things I've seen in a while, and I loved it. Like, man, if I could be in that good of a mood at that age, if I make it that long, that is just that was just hilarious. And they have a little this YMCA has a little um daycare area where if you go to exercise, you can leave your kids in there to play. And a bunch of the kids already had costumes on, and it's some of the parents had little hats and stuff like that. It's a nice to see people getting into it. I don't particularly get into much decorating and stuff unless my little one's going to be here for a holiday. It's just the thing about living alone. But I at least have some candy for kids. All right. There it is. All right. See if I can follow the directions this time. Um, this, I thought I was going to finish this thing today, but I was like, hurry, I'm not going to. Um, Orange side. Yeah, that must be why they had us put the different colors so that when we got to this stage, we could see left and right. Because even inside here, there's orange, 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 blue, 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 so that we have a sense of which side is which, especially at this stage. That's very, very smart. I'm impressed at the thinking and the testing that must have gone into this to to do that. Shows a lot of work went into developing this. Of course, the thing I am like the most, I love the most, this little ghost that it has a little heart inside of it that you would have to take completely apart to see. That it's it's just so funny and different. I mean, it cost them probably a fraction of a penny to make that heart and put the instruction in here, but it kind of shows someone cares and someone wants to do something different that means something to people. Because I need to put that the ghost upstairs in my window. Um, for Halloween. I do have a couple little Halloween sets still down here. Another Wednesday Addams and um, this one that looks like a little barn and a spider. At least they'll be. I might build them after the other Wednesday Addams, or I might just leave them around till next year. So I'm finding these Halloween sets just so cute and cute Halloween, I guess you call it. Not the Halloween from when I was little that was about causing chaos if you could get away with it. Oh, okay, so it's supposed to do this twice. Yeah, I didn't really cause chaos when I was little. I had the friends that did do a little bit of the doorbell dash because that's just something every kid, our boys would always um, um, dare each other to do. I wonder if that stuff is even done anymore. Is it two of these? Yes. Okay. Thinking I was missing piece for a second, and I did that upside down. There we go. And then these things. Hey, sometimes building these things makes me think: do do I have a working brain? Because these directions seem so straightforward, and then I'm sitting here looking at it going, am I doing this right at all? Okay, it has orange side over here. Okay, that looks correct. I can use English properly. Sure, I can. Um, whatever this piece is, and whatever this piece is, the thingamajig and the what's it and the who's it, the whatchamacallits. And thing has a nice apartment. I guess we don't know how old Thing is, so who knows how long he's been putting his apartment together. Could have been putting his apartment together before he even became a detached hand. Could have been planning to become a detached hand. Somewhere out there on the internets has to be the story of Thing and how he became a detached hand that can see and hear. Um, okay, yes. Um, oh, no, I did that wrong. One goes on each side, not on both sides. And then this and this, one goes over here. I think so. And then where does this goes right here. Okay. I'm asking the book questions and, like I'm expecting it to tell me that I'm doing the right thing or not. Ugh. It could the book could just tell me, "Yes, you're doing the right thing." That would be nice if it did that. If it gave me some positive reinforcement. It could be the only thing in my life to give me positive reinforcement. That'd be nice. Um, yes, that looks correct. Okay. Thing could be the only thing in my life to give me positive reinforcement. That's a funny bit. Where is that? Okay. Yes. Okay. And goes like this. This is starting to look like a bread box. So is his house used to be a bread box, I'm wondering. That would make sense actually, that his house used to be a bread box. No, it's 2, 1, and 3. There we go. So 1, 2, and 3. And then 1, 2, 3. 3. Ha 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 ha. I have 3 Legos. Ha 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 ha. One, two, three. Yeah, I know in the old Addams Family TV show, they did at one point talk about his house. There we go. All right. I need to finish up this bag. I don't like leaving a bag um not complete. Um eh, okay, now this one maybe? Yes, this one. Where okay, where are you, little weird piece? Tell me where you are. Speak up. There you are. First, if I knew the names of the pieces, they would speak up when I'm trying to figure out where they are. I'd have to say like 1 by 2 crooked. Where are you? You need to speak up when I'm calling to you. Like little one when I'm calling to her, she doesn't answer. Esther, I'm calling your name. You need to respond to me. There we go. 2 by 1 flat. Where are you? Yeah, it seemed to work. That I found out where they were pretty quickly that time. Yeah, I need to start doing that more often, and my Legos will respond to me. And then they will throw me in the mental health ward of the VA. Rightly so. All right. Where is. There it is. I didn't even have to call for that one. And a flat? Yes, a flat. I'm not really sure. Oh, okay, that's where it goes. Thirsty for me. Damn. I am. Good old Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, these two. All right, little pieces. Thank you for being right where I needed you. All right, little flowers. Lily Thing really loves his decorations. whatever this piece is goes right here. And then this, that means something is going to, oh, what happened? A random page came up on my computer. This and this. Yep. So that's the thing to keep it from being off balance. That's really cool. Ah, I am destroying his house. Well, it is time for me to talk to little one. Yes, thanks. Yeah, happy Halloween. Oh, this is looking pretty cool. And then it flips over. And so that's to keep it steady. Yeah, that's really cool. I love it. Let's put thing up here. But I'll be back on Monday. Yep, same bat time, same bat channel. But wow, 6 likes. That's pretty cool. Thank y'all.